Hello, Hojoz here, and welcome back to the fourth season of Cedara Fight Competition. Today, the DU4B by Dundun will battle the Dinky Dakka by Hojoz Aerospace, and the DU11 BLK15 by Dundun will battle the BV Goshawk MK by BV Flyer 141. And today, it's quite the Dundun episode, as you can see, with Hojoz Aerospace and BV Flyer 141 challenging him. Two people who have ended up quite high in the last season of Cedara Fight Competition. Let's see what they can do today in this double battle episode. Let's move on to the runway. And with that out of the way, it is the DU4B battling the Dinky Dakka. But first off, it's the second time that I'm recording this, not because the commentary failed, but rather me pressing the home button failed. Which, by the way, home button is my shortcut for starting videos. Anyway, that's pretty stupid of me. What I have discovered though is that apparently the AI is not really feeling like engaging properly with the competition mode. So yeah, I guess I'll have to compromise for that myself. But apart from that, it is the Dinky Dakka and the DU4B battling each other. To be honest, I think I even thought before I messed up my first recording that the DU4B is going to dominate. As we take off, and we see if my prediction is correct, because who knows? Anything can happen if you don't record the match properly. I mean, as far as I know, now the Dinky Dakka will take a 3-0. I mean, that happened last season. Pretty funny actually, that really happened last season. It was actually one of the aircraft winning with 3-0 while actually the other aircraft won with 3-0 in the other recording. It's just a really weird circumstance, I guess. Really weird thing of BDAC. I don't care though. It's the tools that we'll have to work with, as we'll have to reset the competition right now and wait for the teams to get into position and engage each other as we now start the competition. We now head towards the Dinky Dakka, and the Dinky Dakka, of course, heading towards the DU4B, which is equipped with 3 Vulcans instead of 4 M230s, which are equipped on the Dinky Dakka. Dinky Dakka using barrage mode instead of firing all the guns at the same time mode, which I really don't have any commentary on, but hey, I guess it's something noteworthy as the guns fire. And of course, nothing hits. Then the DU4s now showing their superior maneuverability and just turning on the Dinky Dakkas as if the Dinky Dakka is stopped in the parking lot. Weird analogy, I know. But I guess it's the only analogy I can make, as this DU4 is going to have to engage the other Dinky Dakka, but has no interest in doing so. Well, I guess it's going to be a slight bit harder for the DU4 to win, as it's really apparently not hitting the Dinky Dakka, but from what I could see, it should have really hit the Dinky Dakka, as the other DU4 is getting some hits in and utterly destroys one of the Dinky Dakkas, as the other Dinky Dakka is left to fight a 2v1 with superior planes. Superior planes now firing. There has already been an explosion on the Dinky Dakka. Dinky Dakka, of course, in the flight tests has been shown to be quite unstable even when losing just one part, which is apparently the main control surfaces, the big ass elephant there, mounted rather in the center of the wing, as it crashed into the ground, struggling for control. And the DU4B taking the victory for 1-0. As we move on to the next part. The next part, I mean the next round, of course. Next round we'll fly on board with the Dinky Dakkas. And maybe that will change a little bit about the battle. A little bit of the battle. As once again start the competition, reopen the competition tab and hope that we won't have to cancel and redo the competition. As the planes take off. The Dinky Dakka may be having its landing gear slightly too far backwards. Well, I can't say that I've seen that one before. That's the first time I've seen a Dinky Dakka crash into the ground like that. That's really weird, because it wasn't doing that the previous 4 battles. Okay then, I guess that's just one of the minor inconveniences of running a competition like this and having to do live commentary over it, because it's not like I can just cut that one out, because then my commentary won't make any sense anymore. As the Dinky Dakkas will once again try to take off, which they do this time, and the U-Force already having taken off a long time ago, maybe even in the previous century, as we are once again flying apart from each other to start the competition. Just waiting here until they engage, until they reach competition distance, which I'll be doing shortly, and then we start the competition probably. Oh, I can't really see what competition distance is now. Yeah, I saw synchronized 8, so I'm going to call it on that. Still they try to get into position. Maybe it's Dinky Dakka just being really slow to get to its attitude. The attitude preferred to get well into position on the BDAI. But I didn't make this plain, so what would I know about it? As they near each other once more, and the U-Force appearing to head further place the Dinky Dakka, but I doubt that will be firing on that, as this Dinky Dakka is shooting into their flanks, and there is still no response from the U-4, as there the response is of course on my call, on the commentator's curse as some would call it. The Dinky Dakka actually maneuvering awesomely there, surprisingly well, as it doesn't really matter since both the Dinky Dakkas get assaulted by 20mm fire, rapid 20mm fire from Vulcans instead of not so rapid 30mm fire from M230s, as both of the DUs disengage once more and the Dinky Dakka is left to consider life choices and fire on the DU Force. Actually, the DU Force has been making a crucial mistake, both extending from the Dinky Dakkas and not really minding the Dinky Dakka that is apparently assaulting them, because it's this DU4 firing on a Dinky Dakka while it's actually being fired upon by a Dinky Dakka. So I honestly question the decisions from the BDCAI on that DU4B there. But hey, that's just one instance. We shouldn't really judge one instance, as the DU4 behind us is firing on a different Dinky Dakka. It is now firing on us, and it's getting some hits on, and that looked like a very decisive hit, and it looked to have looked to have made the Dinky Dakka unstable. And well, it's really unstable now, since there's not much left of the Dinky Dakka. It's just having a cockpit. The other Dinky Dakka also struggling and being utterly ground pounded, utterly pounded upon by the DU4Bs. It not even being able to regain control and regain enough air into its intakes in order to fire all engines and maybe prevent its death, as there it dies and the DU4B takes home a 2-0. As surely it'll now be the final battle. It being less than 15 minutes still, so it's looking good for a second battle today. And the second battle will then include the DU11 BLK-15 against the BV Goshawk MK230, which I don't expect much from the Goshawk, let's say it that way, as the DU4Bs once again take off, and the Dinky Dakkas once again take off to meet each other and see if they can kill each other once more. If the DU4 can kill the Dinky Dakkas, and if the Dinky Dakka can still get a pity kill, or maybe even a victory of the DU4B. It's, of course, being a long wait until these craft are in position. We're now waiting just on these aircraft to get into position, which they nearly have. They're nearly onto 8 kilometers, and I'm going to call that now. As we turn back on each other, and it'll be time to engage each other. Not engage as in a marriage, but engage as in fight each other to the death. Yeah, that's what we like around here. No marriages. Although, if you want to marry someone from the comments, go ahead. I don't have... I really don't have any say about it anyway. As we are nearly engaging, nearly heading to engagement range. The M230 is firing, and now the DU4 minding the Dinky Dakka, but not actually firing on it, preferring to dodge M230 fire, as it turns oh so lovely towards the DU4s, no, towards the Dinky Dakkas. As my throat's apparently having a mare today. I have a little bit of a tickling in my throat, but it hasn't resorted to coughing yet. As this DU4 is engaging Dinky Dakka on very close range, and it explodes it rather decisively. There now being only one Dinky Dakka left. As we fly board to the other DU4B, it's surely being more entertaining. As the other DU4B engages the Dinky Dakka, and surely will be taken down any minute now, as this DU4B dives on a Dinky Dakka on this 5th of December, a Sinterklaas for people in the Netherlands and Belgium, as the final Dinky Dakka explodes, and you too have been gifted a Sinterklaas present, because Sinterklaas gives out presents on his birthday, and his birthday is today, the 5th of December. And Dundun 92 has been selected as one of the people receiving a present today. It's having a rather easy time defeating the Dinky Dakka, as we'll have to move on to the DU11 against the Goshawk M230. You join me back on the side of the runway with the very noisy DU11 BLK-15, and it will fight, of course, the BV Goshawk MK230, which, well, it is a continuation of the aircraft that won CFC Season 3, but it did so with a whole lot of luck. So, we'll see today that if the same luck will apply again to an evolved version of the BV Goshawk MK230. An evolved version of the BV Goshawk, unfortunately. With the DU11 BLK-15 being a new entry, but it is bred and made with the very friendly competition of ASC, which, well, ASC is very competitive, and that's basically why I constantly think that Dundun 92 will win, because, well, ASC is very competitive. Thus, must be producing the best planes. As we both now take off. The noise machine, of course, taking off before the Goshawk MK. Noise machine, it's pretty aircraft. It's wobbling a bit there, but well, if the model doesn't affect its ability to compete, its ability to be competitive, then well, wobbling doesn't really matter. As I hope I won't have to cancel and restart the competition now. We have set up, of course, new planes as we near turning range, and it is starting, so I don't have to do anything with the AI this time. As we fly towards each other, the BV Goshawk MK, using, of course, the M230s. And the U11 BOK-15 again using the 3 Vulcans, which Dundun 92 will make himself known for. We now close into engagement distance. Now firing on the aircraft of that are the BV Goshawk MK and the U11 BOK-15. BOK-15 immediately turning towards the BV Goshawk. Maybe not as maneuverable as the DU11. As well, that gunfire came pretty close. I'd be surprised to not see any damage on that Goshawk. The DU11 looking like it's dominating the rear of the Goshawk MK-30 already. However, the Goshawk MK-30 isn't the worst of aircraft in this competition, unless I place at least some trust that the MK-30 will be able to succeed in downing one U11, but it won't be today as the Goshawk took a pretty significant hit, pretty much taking out one half of the Goshawk. The other Goshawk will be fine, which well, I'd guess that losing half your plane is pretty significant, but it looked like it was flying along fine, well, until it tried to dodge, which now surely it's tumbling into the ground as the U11 just chases it. You know, you just have to kill the aircraft, have to kill the sufferer, because then it's no longer suffering, as the U11 is most certainly interested in doing that. Let's see how the other U11 is doing. It's going for the same aircraft, the same Goshawk that is now crashed into the ground, which provides a slight advantage for the other Goshawk. However, it's interested in a head-on, so I don't think that it will do much before it also gets downed by the DU11. Well, at least it isn't as dominant on the victory as what we've seen with Dinky Dakka. The Goshawk is being able to hold on for a bit, being able to fire its guns at its rifles at least somewhat. Both the DU11s having now overshot. The BV Goshawk not even taking the opportunity to maybe engage one of the DU11s, which could prove to be fatal. I mean, let's be honest there, it is fatal. From what we have seen in this competition. Although the Goshawk, it looks like it can handle the DU11 on head-ons here. The DU11 having slightly bit of difficulty putting any rounds in the Goshawk MK-30. Although, nope, still nothing. Still no damage on the Goshawk. But the DU11 is now on the back of the Goshawk, and surely it will not survive this without any damage. Well, I did see some hits, but no explosions yet. Yep, that's an explosion. It must be, no, yeah, that's definitely an explosion. Let's see, that's one of the engines. No, that's just one side of the aircraft again. I think that's, no, that's not really significant at all, no, is it? Well, it is, because it's now just tumbling and tumbling and tumbling again, which isn't great for the aircraft. I'm guessing that those Mark 0 fuselages had some fuel in them. Now all the fuel being in the front of the aircraft and making it a slight bit unstable for the center of lift design that he's gone with. The Goshawk really struggling to even regain control from his aircraft. But it's actually not helping the DU-11s either, because the DU-11s are kind of struggling to get a hit on BV Goshawk, as one of the DU-11s nearly crashed into the Goshawk. The Goshawk now also struggling from a slight bit of power to weight ratio issue. It's packing, well, a lot of fuel, I guess, as there actually everything, pretty much everything on the Goshawk goes. It is the engine and all of the fuel gone, and thus it is the Goshawk going down, and it is the DU-11 scoring a victory, 1-0 over the BV Goshawk, as this is looking to be a longer battle. And let's be honest here, longer battle, which looks to be at least a slight bit competitive, is very, very amusing. Well, I am just deciding that for you, but well, I shouldn't have done that. I'm going to look at that. As we now are going to have to fly on board with the Goshawk, both the aircraft here being drones actually, which I have noticed before. Now taking off again is already the DU-11s have been taken. Now the Goshawk's taken off as well. It is going to be a great second round, of course, judging by the first round. It's going to be a critical second round, as we are just flying away from each other and looking for that 8-kilometer range at which they'll turn towards each other and brawl until the death. But drones can't die, so they don't brawl until the death. They will brawl until an error 404. As we are engaging each other now. The Goshawk and the DU-11 surely looking to devastate each other once more. The Goshawk, of course, being an aircraft that has finished in previous seasons, but as far as I can see, it has gotten a wing redesign and some plus parts as we engage. You can see clearly the guns fire, all the guns fire at once. The setting on the BV Goshawk active, and of course by that I mean the barrage is set true, as the DU-11 has turned on this Goshawk 6, and I already saw the other Goshawk tumbling, so that would be, I guess, one Goshawk with damage, or just one unstable Goshawk, as the DU-11 is no longer interested in engaging this Goshawk, but the Goshawk most certainly is interested in engaging the DU-11, although it's the wrong DU-11. Let's see if the old Goshawk had damage, which it hadn't. So it was just a slight instability issue on the Goshawk's part, as the DU-11 has once again gotten on the back of the BV Goshawk, and the BV Goshawk is utterly devastated by the DU-11 Build A15. There's one Goshawk remaining now then, although the other Goshawk can still function as a target to the DU-11, or well, actually a distraction, as this Goshawk will be looking to put at least a little bit of damage into one of the DU-11s. Although it is a mid-air collision with one of the DU-11s. This DU-11 not looking all too healthy, but now the advantage is that this Goshawk is nearly heading towards the ground, and this Goshawk is also crashing. So it is now luck on the side of the DU-11, as the DU-11 scores a 2-0. Instead of luck at the side of the Goshawk, at least, this being the Goshawk MK 230. as the DU11 survives the mirror collision fine, looking to have only 4 engines instead of the usual 8 mounted, or maybe 10, although I think it's 8. But suffering from a lot of damage, pretty much half the craft being ripped off. But as we've seen, the Goshawk had more damage, just crashed into the ground, as this 2-0 for the DU11. It's surely looking like a real good day for Dundun 92, as we head in maybe even the final match of the Goshawk against the DU11. The Goshawk having not the best plane to fight against, which I mean that it doesn't have the best, doesn't have a bad plane that can easily win against, such as the Watch. As we once again take off, will be fine in time today. The U11 and the 4B being very competitive, and basically absolutely no advantage on the table for the Goshawks. Absolutely nothing left on the table, as the Goshawks are really struggling to even get a hit on the DU11 UK15. The DU11 basically being way too maneuverable for the Goshawk, as still 2 kilometers to go until we engage for possibly the final time. Now then, engaging, turning around, and seeing if the Goshawk will survive the DU11, or if the DU11 will have to do the final, is basically the finish him move on the BV Goshawk, as we are nearing engagement range, we are nearing guns firing range, as the Goshawks are already interested in firing, the DU11s only following now. But turning around immediately to get towards a Goshawk. Of course, the Goshawks not having not big luck. A wee bit of luck, as that was nearly again a mid-air collision with a DU11. I surely would be interested in seeing how that would have ended, as the DU11 is on the tail of the Goshawk, but the Goshawk pulls some nice fancy maneuver, which is not having enough speed, and saves himself from doom for a few seconds, because, well, that is the Goshawk devastated, completely and utterly annihilated by the DU11 on its tail. Now the Goshawk pretty much standing no chance against 2 DU2s, because, well, it's on its own and it's trying. Yeah, I guess you can't blame it for trying against DU11, but surely the 92 has a very good chance of winning this competition, as it's actually fired from the other DU11. A bit of damage I've seen. Actually, one of the big ass elephants gone now, as the other DU11 is now firing on the Goshawk. Now also having lost interest, the Goshawk quickly tumbling towards the ground, now warming itself both well and tumbling towards the ground, and yet showing that it has enough maneuverability left to avoid the ground, at least for now. The Goshawk now turning towards one of the DU11s, but surely is just a death waiting to happen, as, well, where's the other DU11? The other DU11 is there. If you don't generate a white plume of smoke, I can't track you. Well, I can because of the F4 thing, but I can't really see it in the light of day, as it's another mid-air collision. The Goshawk sacrificing itself for the cause and taking out one DU11 with it, but unfortunately its teammate got taken out And thus it means a victory for the DU11 and a second victory for Dundun 92, as he has proven to be quite the good plane builder today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I hope you enjoy gunfights, and I hope I'll see you on this channel once more. And I'll also hope you enjoy my outro, which of course still bureaucratic, boys. Well.